some more pictures are emerging from before the SCO meeting, and in these pictures, we'll show these pictures shortly, but in these pictures, Shehbaz Sharif can be seen looking on as Prime Minister Modi has this quick chat with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Russian President Vladimir Putin. There's Shehbaz Sharif also present. He's being sidelined. He is looking on as these three powerful leaders talk to each other, share, laugh. And Gaurav, you know, China has been considered close to Pakistan. But today what we saw is that Shehbaz Sharif just shaking hands and then moving on. And then comes Prime Minister Modi, who shakes hand with Xi Jinping and also has this quick conversation, and not just Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping, but they were also accompanied by Russian President Vladimir Putin. So are the dynamics changing?
Do not have the audio just as yet, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi is speaking right now at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, giving India's stance. You look at those pictures in the media center. We are yet to get an audio link of this conversation. We shall get it shortly, but the Prime Minister, you hear him speak. In just a moment, we will also have the audio link. And this is extremely significant right now. Why is this significant? Because what is it that India carries to this table? The message for the global south, the message for the developing world, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaking. With him is the additional secretary for Asia just behind him. And of course, Mr. Hiren Joshi, the Prime Minister's media advisor, just behind the Prime Minister in this meeting. You have the National Security Advisor also there. So if you look at the stage right behind me, I mean, just look at that stage. You have the members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the heads of state in the inner circle. In the outer circle, you have those who've been invited for this summit, and you have 10 international organizations that are represented here, including the United Nations. So the effort of President Xi Jinping in Tianjin is to show how powerful Shanghai Cooperation Organization is as an important grouping. It's a grouping that represents not just the most populous countries in the world, India and China, most powerful countries, superpowers like Russia, but this is a very powerful Eurasian bloc that's represented on stage, and the Prime Minister is currently speaking at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The audio link, of course, we shall have shortly, but I think you, Anjali, as soon as China releases these images, you shall have that audio and video in the studio, Anjali.
Right, Gaurav. So Prime Minister Modi is addressing the plenary session of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Currently, he is addressing the SCO leaders. We'll shortly get you the audio of the address as well. But Gaurav, as we were discussing about the powerful visuals of the three leaders, Russian President Vladimir Putin, Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with Xi Jinping, there's also now visuals emerging of Shehbaz Sharif staring on the leaders as these three leaders converse with each other. And as it is a known fact that China has been close to Pakistan, but now looking at the visuals that came today, can we say that the dynamics are now changing?
Well, China continues to use Pakistan to destabilize India. You know, every country wants to ensure that the other country does not rise and does not rise rapidly. To stall India's rise, you know, China talks of a multipolar world, but it does not talk of a multipolar Asia. And to stall India's rise, it uses Pakistan to stem India's rise, whether it's through terrorism, radical Islamist terrorism, or bleed India through more ways than one, to have the army deployed, you know, all along the line of control. When Pakistan failed to do so, China then did something at the LAC again, but that's also bleeding China. And perhaps after 5 years of Galwan deployment, China has realized that militarily as India grows stronger, economically as India grows stronger, Pakistan cannot stall India's rise anymore. And Operation Sindoor was one big message when India slammed Pakistan. 11 air bases, 6 radar stations, stations, 9 terror camps, all the HQ-16 and HQ-9 systems, the PL-15s, the JHC-10s, the JF-17s of the Chinese Air Force, all of them put together, including intelligence support, aviation support, all sorts of support that came. India still emerged on top. So India is rising. Now the effort is to engage when possible, contain when possible. That's the kind of twin-pronged offensive that China seems to be adopting. So they will not stop support to Pakistan. They want to use the Belt and Road Initiative, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, to have access to the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean region, because the Malacca Straits is a choke point for China, a choke point that India dominates, and China realizes that, and that is why it's not only making various bases, that string of pearls all around India, but also increasing its inroads in Africa and West Asia. So all along, China is trying to counterbalance, India's strength in the Indian Ocean region, and that is why it will not stop its support for Pakistan for access to the Gwadar Port and the Belt and Road Initiative China-Pakistan Economic Corridor.
Right, Gaurav, talking about the India-China ties, how did China view the bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping that was held yesterday?
So Chinese media and analysts have been all praised for Prime Minister Narendra Modi standing up to American bullying. They've praised India for the economy rising, and they've been talking about how India and China, if they were to operate together, if they were to work together, if they were able to sink their differences, it will benefit the 2.8 billion people of the region, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi also put it. However, they too would want India to they would want China to be this big, powerful dragon and India to be that ambling elephant. And that's the point India repeatedly makes, that India's rise so far has been spectacular. The aim is to even take it higher, and our national animal is the tiger. So it's like that roaring tiger of our economy, of our military strength that we saw not just in Galwan but Operation Sindoor. So India's roaring like the tiger and moving forward very emphatically. So that's the point India is repeatedly making to the world. China wants to see us out of that American, that close strategic bond and partnership that was worrying China. 25 years of that had worried China. Now they're hoping that ties with India, when India-America ties are not all that well, they're hoping to draw India closer to China and hope that there would be a counterbalance. Remains to be seen, because India is very good at this deft diplomacy. We want good ties with China. We want good ties with America. Let's see how things pan out in the months and years ahead. But a lot would also depend on how Donald Trump were to react to what's happening right now and in the weeks and months ahead. If he sees reason, then things, even in this region, will come back on an even keel.